Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look on the geopolitics conditions and situations recently. There are the closing of the Hormuz Strait. They are closed by Iran country. The Iran country is closing because they claim the Hormuz Strait is theirs, and it's impacting a lot of countries because of they are depends on the oil supply that are available and produced in the Middle East country. And to enter the Middle East countries, ships must pass the Hormuz Strait. Either they want to go to Middle East country or they want to get back from the Middle East country into their countries where are the ships from. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm talking right now is correlated with the motions we are talking and debating right now, that this House prefers a world where critical resources are governed by the international material agencies. Before we jump to my definitions, let me introduce myself first. My name is Rizky Avansyah. You can call me Evan. I am acting as the first speaker of the proposition team. What is the critical resource actually? Critical resource is resources that are rare, hard to find, and there's limited availability in this world. And then what is the word governed mean? The word governed means that something is being managed, regulated, or having a rule that are set by some officials. And then what is the international material agencies? International material agencies is global organizations with the goal to manage critical resources. And we are limiting and focusing this debate only in oil resources because we considering that there is still a lot of country that depends on oil resources. And let's jump to my first argument. There is a lot of conflicts between countries that are caused by each country's needs of critical resources, specifically oil. And because of that, there's many countries that try to control or try to invade our countries so they can get the amount of oil supply. And of course, that thing is wrong because it's harming the human rights, right? And because of that, we need to regulate the oil supply or resource in this world. How? The agencies can control the transactions of the oil. They manage it, they regulate it of how much a country can buy the oil. And how can a country is selling the oil to get their profits? They can sell it through the agencies. So agencies is regulate the transactions, and then the countries is get their money by that transaction that are regulated by the mechanism of how the international material agencies is regulating. And of course, the country is not giving the oil resource for free. They need the income or the profits from it, from oil too, of course. And then let's jump to my second argument. If we apply these policies, is preventing the oil market monopoly. Like I said earlier, because there's a closing in the Strait of Hormuz, they are causing a crisis around the world that a lot of countries is still depends on the oil. And because of that, we need to prevent the monopoly of the market of oil by regulating the country by how can they sell, how should they sell the oil, how methods there are they need to do to sell the oil to other countries. And then let's jump to my last argument. If we apply these policies that are the international material agencies is regulating and also limiting the oil transactions, of course it's impacting a countries by pushing it to invest or if inventing a new innovation in machinery. They need to inventing a machine that are using less oil but still perform good as a machine. And they also must investing in a new like transportation innovations, because the transportation innovation is refers to electric vehicle. And also a country is can investing in other electricity innovation sector like a solar panel, a sea wave electricity, or any sustainable resources that are supporting the countries. And also because of the mechanism of the International Material Agency is to regulate and limiting the transaction of the oil, it's preventing the oil shortage around the world, because the oil transactions is being limited by the amount and the purpose of the oil usage of the country that buy the oil from the agencies. And the agencies is getting the oil supply from the country that want to sell their oil supply. That's why we beg you to propose this motion. Thank you.